My baby child is so different than the other two because I was so tired. By the time I got around to her, I was beat down. And I was tired. And I let her do whatever she wanted to. And I've heard old women say 4, 5, and 6 raise themselves. I bet they do. I bet they do. Because I've let her do whatever she wanted to. I was so on top of my game with those first two. I was like flashcards. You're going to make 100 on that spelling test. And I was up in school, I was room mom, and I was taking yogurt and muffins, and I was all up in everything. That third one came along, and I was like, can she read? Let me tell y'all that my people are down in Middle Tennessee. I told y'all farming people, and I was raised old-timey Methodist. And my people are kind of superstitious, and there was like no gambling. You could play rook. There was no alcohol in our house. Never had alcohol until we were trying to get her married off. And she married this hoop-de-doo man that owned part of a winery, and so we all started drinking. And my little mama had never had alcohol, and she drank a glass of wine and got out of my car, and she goes, I can't feel my arms. But there was no cussing in my family. They didn't want any ugly language, so I brought that into my marriage, and my husband's people say ugly words. So I said to him, we're not going to have any cussing in this house, and I said to these children, I go, nobody's going to say anything ugly. You can't even say stupid. You can't call anybody stupid. You can't say but. If you do, you're going to be in deep doo-doo. And they listened to me. Those first two did exactly like I told them. Well, that baby came along, and it started out with spell cussing. She'd come in a room and say, what the H? And then it went on to, what's up, mofos? My husband's name is Chuck. She'd go, Chuck, you a-hole. And my husband gets so tickled and just gets so, and he'd go, oh my, you nut. And my oldest two would be like, what? She just said what? I know, we let her do whatever. All right, y'all. Because we are taping this, I'm trying to get in different material, and I'm trying to do new, and I'm out of my mind because I'm in brain fog. So y'all, bear with me. I'm trying to switch it back and forth. Okay, I got to tell y'all that with me and my husband being just me and him, we probably need to go to a retreat and learn how to communicate again. He traveled. He's always had a big job. He's an executive with a big company and stayed gone, and we wanted him to. I'd be like, your daddy's coming home. Clean up your room. Everybody, dude. I mean, we had a ball when he was gone, honey. My husband's smart in math. Anal retentive, type A, hunter and a gatherer, can kick a door in. I like that. Very, very introverted, very quiet, but very, very smart. And Is that Alexis? Are we boarding a plane? It sounds like we're boarding a plane. Is something taking off? If it is, we need to all wash our hands. What was I saying? Oh, my husband. Okay. So he has always been, like he worked for Burger King when he was 14. They gave him a key. So, and he was getting an MBA at UT when I met him, and he's a little bit younger than me, and he'd already been out 4 years, worked, and then went back to get an MBA. I was just finishing up my undergraduate because I'm fun. So it has been a tumultuous, because if y'all saw my purse, y'all be like, her life is out of control. And he is just like that. But anyway, now it's just me and him. And if I could give you young people any advice, I know you hadn't asked me for it, but you need to go on date nights, and you need to nurture that. And I know everybody's driving in a car, and everybody's fighting, and everybody's got something in a crock pot, but you need to do that with your husband, because one day it's just going to be you and him, and you're going to look at him and go, who are you? And what do you want from me? So I try to do fun things, and people say to me all the time, they go, do you let your husband travel with you? And I say, no. The main thing is he's got to keep working. We need health insurance, you know? Everybody's getting their eyebrows waxed. We need to keep this going. We want him to work as long as he can. The other reason is he loves a hotel. You know, men love a hotel. And I got to work. I got to put on makeup and get on Spanx. And so I'll take him to a hotel, and he gets a glazed look over his eyes. And I find myself doing this. And it doesn't have to be a nice hotel. It could be a Scottish Inn. And there could be a bloody spot on the carpet where there's been a murder. It wouldn't bother him. But anyway, I don't let him do that. So around Knoxville, I try to do things for me and him to do together. And I bought him tickets to go see Def Leppard and Journey. Oh, y'all. Going to a concert is very different when you're 54. I went to school at UT, and I used to go to all the concerts. I saw Tina Turner, John Cougar Mellencamp, Rod Stewart, I don't know where I got the money. But in the 80s, honey, I went. Nick, I was so cute. I had on little bitty britches. My thyroid was functioning. I didn't care about food. I'd eat a half a can of tuna, and I'd be like, I'm full. But anyway, so I got us tickets, and my husband, I thought, we're going to have a date night. And he goes, I can't get there in time to go out to eat. I'll meet you at the concert. So he had bought a tall boy and an egg salad sandwich at the gas station. I know, I had to smell that all night. So anyway, I was hungry, and everybody at that concert was my age or older. And everybody's worried about the snack bar. And I was too. Journey was already on stage. Nobody cared. Everybody was at the snack bar. But anyway, Little Journey, we all go to watch Little Journey. Journey does not have Little Steve Perry anymore because he had to get a hip replacement. So and I loved him. They've hired this little bitty man who is yummy, and he's taking care of himself, and he's got little bitty britches on, and he hadn't eaten white flour and sugar, and I don't think he's done dope, and I don't think he's slept with nasty women. So he's hopping and doing and squatting and doing, and all the old boys in the back look sick and bloated, and they're going. But anyway, they were good, and we watched them. Then little Def Leppard came out. Have y'all seen Def Leppard? Still could sing like nobody's business. But that little man came out. Oh, that little man came out. And his little hair was down to here, and you could see through it. And I took one look at him, and I thought, thyroid. Because I've got it too. My hair's thinning too. And that little bitty thing's legs were that big. I've never seen legs that tiny on a man. Frail. And he propped it up on a little... And he'd do... And then I noticed there was a hump right here, and I thought, what's that hump? Oh, hernia. He's got a hernia. And I know because I've had one. And he hadn't had time to get a mesh put in it. I've got a mesh. Anyway, he started singing, "Put Some Sugar on It." And my very quiet, introverted husband stood up and then sat back down. We had a ball. They were wonderful. And then we walked out of Thompson Bowling Arena, and everybody was walking like this. Because everybody's got plantar fasciitis. I've had it. Yeah. Inflammation in our feet. Y'all know what causes that? White flour and sugar. Let me tell y'all, about 2 months after that, I got us tickets in Nashville to go see Hart and Joan Jett. I know. Little Joan Jett. It was probably about 100 degrees, and it was outside, and it was hot and sweaty and humid. Little Joan Jett comes out in leather. And let me tell y'all, she's the size of this glass. Joan Jett. But she rocked it, and she has filler, a lot of filler, and it looks good. It looks good. And I've never wanted it until now. And I think, should I get my lips plumped up? Because what happened to my lips? My lips just sucked up into my body. I used to have lips. Anyway, so she came out, she was wonderful, and then Nancy and Sweet Ann and Nancy came out, the sisters, Hart. Ann's the oldest one, you know, the dark-headed one. She came out in a big pair of orthopedic tennis shoes. That's how she looked. You could tell she was hot and it felt good. And she was pissed. And she had on a long-sleeve dress, and I get it, I don't want to show my arms either. She had on a long-sleeve dress. It was 100 degrees in Nashville at night, humid, sweaty. She had on pantyhose with those big orthopedic, I know, and I thought, what in the world? And then I thought, compression. She's got on compression hose. But she sang like a bird. And then Nancy, sweet Nancy's doing okay. You know, Nancy's a little bit younger. She can still jump. But they were wonderful. Anyway, we tried to do stuff like that. And I've told him, I said, we need to build intimacy. And not your kind of intimacy. Because he, you know, everything just means grabbing my breast. And even if he hasn't spoken to me that day. And I said, I need you to speak to me. And I need you to listen to me. And I need to be able to share with you things. And then the nasty stuff can happen if you listen to me. But he goes, what do you want to tell me? And I said, I got to tell you something's going on with my bladder. He said, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And I thought, that's odd, because I've had your children. And I went through a lot, you know. I had 3 babies 2 different ways. And that first baby was an emergency C-section, and I remember being in the operating room and scared and young, and my husband looked at me. He was sitting there watching it, and he said, oh, my gosh, they've taken your uterus out and set it on your chest. And I was like... He said, it looks like a Cornish hen.
Learning a lot being a California girl living in the South, because it's different here. I've learned when I go to a restaurant, if I order an iced tea, it automatically comes with 3 pounds of sugar in it. Y'all call that sweet tea. We call it diabetes. Learning a lot. Very simple things. Like when I'm in Los Angeles, if I go to a store and they're like, can I help you find anything? I'm like, I'm okay. And if I'm feeling really friendly that day, I'm like, I'm okay, thanks. That's it. That's where it ends. Then I got to Nashville. I'm at TJ Maxx one day. I can hear the ladies in the row next to me. Can I help you find anything? I'm all right, but thank you so much for asking. It's my pleasure. It's a beautiful day outside. Yes, it is, but they say it's gonna rain about 3 o'clock. Make sure you get home before the traffic is gonna be a mess. Bless your heart. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I have energy for the South. I don't know how to do it. Like, who stops talking first? Then I look around the corner and neither one of them even worked there. And then somebody told me this. They were like, hey, when people say bless your heart, they can mean it in a good way or a bad way. And I was like, what? Like, how you do a bad bless? And they're like, no, trust me, sometimes that's not what they mean. So now, anytime somebody tells me bless your heart, just to be safe, I reply with, bless your heart. Yeah, I wish you would bless my heart. Bless it again, go ahead. It's kind of like the old fighting words at church. I'ma pray for you. Oh, that's funny, because I'm already praying for you. Yeah, you been on my prayer wall. About to lay hands on you too, say I won't. Learning a lot. When we first got to Nashville, we were trying to figure out what part of the city we wanted to live in. Like, where do we fit in? Where do we vibe with? Finding out this county has good schools, this county doesn't. This county believes in COVID, this county doesn't. Where do we fit? And I would tell my friends, I'd be like, hey, I want to live somewhere where I could get a lot of land. And they're like, okay, you want to head south. I'm like, okay, cool. But I also don't want my neighbor to be racist, so how far south? You know what I mean? Like, are we talking Franklin or Pulaski? Like, how far? Because when you get to the deep, deep South, it's scary. I've seen movies. I'm not trying to do that. I mean, if they have a TJ Maxx there, I will pray about it. And I'm a good neighbor. Like State Farm, I'm there. I love my neighbors. I'm the one that has everybody's phone number. And if I haven't seen you in a while, I will send you a text. Are you good? Do I need to do a welfare check? I got your back. Because I love my neighbors. Every holiday season, I'm gonna get my neighbors a gift. Not the whole neighborhood, just the houses I can see from a front window. Because I love my neighbors, as long as they love me. And I know that's not how the Bible verse goes. But that is my interpretation. This is not the New King James Version. This is a new Queen Anjelah version. This is Anjelah 5:14. Do unto me as you want to get done. That's how you say amen in my Bible. You could come to my Bible study. It's on Tuesdays. Learning a lot. One thing I learned right out the gate is allergies are a whole different beast in the South. Because when I live in Los Angeles, we don't really get all the seasons. We get summer and fire. So Zyrtec works just fine there. Then I get here, come to find out, Zyrtec lost their subscription or something. It did not work. One day I went to pour the Zyrtec pill in my hand and the wind just blew it off. It was like, don't bother. It's so fun waking up every morning playing COVID or allergies. You guys know that game? Where you wake up in the morning and your sinuses are doing a weird thing, and you're like, wait a minute, hold on. Am I dying or did I have dairy? Can I taste anything? Get me some peanut butter. Can I taste? I was actually really lucky. For the first 2 years, I did not get COVID at all. And then earlier this year, she got me, little hoe. She gets around that one. At this point, I know more people who have had it than who have not had it. I know people who've had it with no symptoms whatsoever, and I know people personally who have passed away from it, so my heart goes out to anybody here who has lost somebody from COVID. I've been tested for it many times, and the first time I got tested, my friends tried to warn me about it. They were like, yo, it's intense, and it actually wasn't that bad, probably because they let me do it myself. Yeah, they gave me the Q-tip. And they're like, okay, you want to go all the way in your sinuses? And I was like, okay. Sure. How about I just put it in my nostril and I wiggle it a lot? Can you test boogers? I'll give you some of those. The second time I got COVID tested, the nurse did it, and he went all the way up in there to where like my eyelids started closing. I was like, whoa, you're manually closing my eyelid. He's like, it's not that far up there. I was like, nah, bro, you're in my brain. Like, you're giving basic commands at this point. Like, if I punch you, it's not my fault, you did it. He's like, well, I'm sorry. I was like, no, don't apologize. Just while you're up there, do you mind scraping out some of my childhood trauma? That'd be great. Could you imagine if that was a real option? Get your childhood trauma scraped out with a COVID test. You'd catch me at the CVS pharmacy drive-thru like once a week. They're like, can we help you? Hi, I'm here for my COVID test. Also, when I was 8, my mom forgot me at the store. Another thing I've learned living in the South is the bugs are bigger. Y'all got some Nashville geographic stuff happening here. Like in California, we have bugs, but our bugs are killed. Then I get to Nashville. I went to get in my shower one morning. There was a spider in my shower. Now this spider was so big, I thought I was interrupting him. I did. I went to open the shower curtain. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know anybody was in here, my bad. He was big and he was furry too. Yeah, I didn't know if I should brush it or smush it. I didn't know. He was so furry, he had dander. Ew. I need my Zyrtec pill just for the spider dander. I was like, sir, the Head and Shoulders is right there. Help yourself. If I ever have to kill a spider that big, I am morally conflicted. Because at that point, that's a pet. Put a collar on that thing, that's Bubba. Bubba had plans that day. He was just getting started, he's in the shower. That's messed up. If you ever have to kill a spider that big, you could hear the crunch. And if you hear the crunch, you know that thing had a soul. That's messed up. I used to kill any spider or bug that was around because I don't like bugs at all. But over the past couple of years, I have this newfound respect for nature and insects. So now, if I ever see a spider in my house, what I like to do is scoop it up in a container, take it outside, throw it in a bush, and then immediately go like this. But if I'm left with no choice, and I have to kill a spider, I now like to start with an apology. Listen, sir. I know you weren't expecting this today. I'll be honest, neither was I. Truth is, I don't know you. You could be poisonous and you could kill me. So at this point, it's either me or you. And I have chosen you.
People say, all right, Jen, 6 kids. So you're either Mormon, Catholic, or just a lot of fun. And we are Catholic. That's not normally the response I get when I say that. Did the Pope send you guys? Like, what are you? No, so I was a lifelong atheist who converted to Catholicism. So I got the Uno reverse card, you know? When I was exploring religion, my friends said, Jen, you should be spiritual but not religious. I've landed on religious but not spiritual. And that is as good as it's gonna get. It's my best. And look, honestly, I know for people of faith, it is very important to have a vibrant, thriving friendship with Jesus. I truly believe this. It's just not going very well at all. And part of that is on his end. He has to take some responsibility here. This will help it make sense to you. My mother was a Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society math major. She's a retired mathematician who calculated kill ratios for the Naval Weapons Research Laboratory. My father was a Green Beret and an engineer. My grandfather was an engineer. My first job out of college was as a computer programmer. What I'm trying to tell you is that I am genetically designed to really struggle being friends with people who are invisible. I know Jesus has done a lot for me, okay? He has. But would it be too much to ask for the occasional comment on my Instagram? Like, slay, girl, you know? I'm just asking. Okay, now, the way I came to believe in God is I read a whole bunch of theology books. So I know all the theology stuff. So I guess what I'm hoping is that heaven has an AP exam. So I can test out of being a good person. I get to the pearly gates, and St. Peter's like, Jen, you never forgave anyone. But your essay on transubstantiation was incredible. Come on in. Come on in. Heaven's like, we love an educated queen. That better be how it works. People ask what our parents thought of our conversions to Catholicism because my husband was also not raised Catholic. And what they said was, we are open-minded to all faiths, and we simply want you to be blah, 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 blah. I think what it was is because my husband is an only child and I'm an only child, we were their only shot at grandchildren. I think my mom and my mother-in-law were fist bumping each other like, thank God they found the one where they just breed recklessly. My dad got to the point where he was like, I got 6 grandkids out of this. I'll worship the Catholic God too. This is fine, you know. They actually got in on some of our stuff. My mother-in-law especially, her favorite thing, she was a good Southern Baptist woman, but her favorite thing was she loved this Catholic tradition we have where if we lose something, we say a prayer to St. Anthony. You guys know about, okay. I'm glad you guys know I was recently in a city where they had no idea what I was talking about, and that city was San Antonio. So my mother-in-law loved this. She was a tough East Texas woman, came from generational poverty. She was a single mother. And if you've ever known a woman like that, they are practical. They're all about whatever works. So she would start calling me up. You know, she'd lose her car keys. She'd be, you know, cursing up a storm like, Jennifer, you got to say that prayer. Because she knows it works better if a Catholic says it. And I would say, I fancied myself as a bit of an evangelist for my religion. So I'd say, you know, I want to let you know we're not praying to these saints like they're gods. It's like asking your neighbor if she'd be like, say the prayer, God, find the guardians. So I'd say, St. Anthony, please come around. Something is lost and can't be found. She'd say, tell him it's the car keys. So I'd say the whole thing again. And she'd tell all her Southern Baptist friends about it. She'd say, I love this St. Anthony SOB. He is just, oh. And then one time, she lost some tax documents. It was a really big deal. She couldn't find them anywhere. She calls me hooting and hollering. She said, Jennifer, I can't find these tax documents anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, calm down. Did you pray to St. Anthony? She said, Jennifer, I prayed to St. Anthony. I prayed to Jesus. Hell, I asked Jesus to say a prayer to St. Anthony. So I am the token Catholic in my family, in my group of friends, and I'm still getting used to it. It still feels kind of weird. And sometimes my old life and my new life collide. Like one time we were visiting my grandfather and my 3-year-old daughter got into his prescription anti-anxiety medication. It was scary. She was okay. We took her to the ER and the nurse said, okay, she will be okay, but the clinical diagnosis is she is high as a kite. She said she can't name her colors, but she can smell them. The nurse looked at us, this respectable Catholic mom and dad. She said, do you think you could think of any way to entertain her while she's in this state so that we can keep her under observation for a few hours? The memories were instantaneous. We put on Pink Floyd's The Wall. We found the YouTube video. There's just 10 hours of a spinning eye. My husband's like, do the thing where you do your hands like this. Like, I think the nurse was like, okay, if they break out glow sticks and start dancing, like, I'm gonna have to kick them out. Another time, I made the mistake of inviting the president of my homeowners association and her 2 young children over to my house for a play date. It was going well, and then her 5-year-old ran inside and said, Mommy, they have the best sandbox toy. And I was like, did we? Okay. He's like, you got to come see it. So we go outside, and his brother is holding up, it has a big funnel at the top, and then a long tube. It had my husband's fraternity logo on it. And all down the tube were the all capital words, chug, 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 chug. And her kids are happily pouring sand down it. She said, what kind of sandbox toy is this? I said, I don't know, but Mattel has really fallen off. So it's hard raising this Catholic big family when I don't know anything about being Catholic and I don't know anything about having a big family. And then on top of that, I struggle. I mean, I have pretty severe ADHD, and I am also slightly on the Asperger's spectrum. Anyone else been diagnosed on TikTok? I might also have generalized anxiety disorder, but Kaylee hasn't posted part 4 to the video because she's been grounded, so... Yeah, we're just kind of waiting to figure that one out. So that doesn't go well. Me trying to run this house. When it was my turn to bring snacks to Vacation Bible School, the kids learned about fasting that day. I do try. Like, for my daughter's birthday, I made her this really fun Monsters in the Slime Pit birthday cake, and it was supposed to be a Mermaids at the Beach cake, but that is my best effort. One of the hardest things for me was that, so 4 of my kids are girls, and doll clothes, I didn't see that part of parenting coming. One of my friends said, Jen, your girls' dolly clothes are a mess. You need to find an organizational system that allows the dollies to mix and match their outfits. I was like, look around. You may notice that fully half of my human children are not dressed. The dolls ain't making the cut, honey. Gonna be a nudist colony up in here. One time my mom sent one of her classy friends over to the house right when this lady walks into the door. My daughters have put their Barbies in the 2 Barbies in a hot pink Barbie Corvette. They're all strapped in. And like, vroom, here we go. Except the Barbies are completely naked. My mom's friend said, what is going on with these Barbies? I said, look, I bought them Teacher Barbie. Now they're a whole different kind of Barbie. But these Barbies make a lot more money than Teacher Barbie, so... They're fine. But officially, the hardest thing about parenting for me was shoes. I am expected to find 12 shoes every time I leave the house. And look, whether you're a parent or not, if you've ever dealt with kids in any capacity, I don't know if you've gotten to this point where you're trying to get out the door, you look down at what this kid is wearing, and you're like, okay, you have a purple bunny slipper on one foot. On the other foot, you have a high-heeled plastic princess shoe. But we are 43 minutes late. Let's go. Let's just get in the car. I don't care anymore. And you're like, as long as we don't run into any of his friends, it should be fine, you know? One time, we were headed out to a picnic that my church was having. It was way far away from home. No turning back now. Right as we are rolling up, my daughter says from the back, Mommy, I forgot my shoes. And I was like, oh, God. It's so frustrating because you know how it is. You know how you want to show up when you hang out with people from church. You know, you want to show up like a total fraud. Just not who you actually are at all. I'd even given the kids the rundown. I'd said, like, hey, remember, listen, tell everybody that your clothes look like that because we went on a nature walk. I was at my limit. I call my husband. I am ranting. I am raving. And he tried to solve the problem. Gentlemen, if your wife calls you screaming the details about how yet another day in her life has degenerated into a complete dumpster fire, the only answer she is looking for is, "Oh my gosh, honey, your life is so hard. How do you even do it?" Feel free to take notes. My husband actually said to me, "My rollerblades are in the trunk." I said, "She is a 9-year-old girl. What are you imagining? She's just gonna stand there stiffly in the rollerblades and I push her through the picnic?" And then he's getting annoyed because his wife doesn't like solutions. Then he says, these words actually left his mouth. Then he says, "Somewhere in the minivan are a roll of paper towels and rubber bands." Some of you know where he was going with that. I did not. I said, "What?" He said, "Moccasins." I said, "Okay, well, there it is. There it is. That is officially the stupidest idea I have ever heard. And also, it would never work." He said, "It worked last time I took him to church." At some point, you lose respect for the people in your community for not calling Child Protective Services on you.
I moved to Minnesota last year in the month of January. And that's how you die. 8-month winters are brutal. God. When I hit my 1-year mark of living there, some of my friends were like, "Oh, how did you celebrate?" I was like, "Oh, I just walked into my bathroom like it was a prison cell and etched one tally." I did learn a lot by moving there then. I learned that God forbid you try using a bidet there in the winter. That water feels like local anesthesia. Did not feel my beehole for 5 months. It's such a weird state. Right when I moved there, I turned on the TV and there were commercials for vacations to Alaska. And that's when I knew I f***ed up. I was like, oh, these are broken people. If Alaska is their Cancun. Living in Minnesota and going on vacation to Alaska is like owning a Nissan Sentra and going on vacation and renting a Nissan Sentra. That's the same terrible. Minnesota was a tough sell, though. I found out also when I got there that they have some of the highest state taxes. I was like, for why? You're cold and expensive? That's like a dog who's ugly and bites. Put it down. Let's get out of here. Skedaddle. And I moved there from Washington where there are no state taxes. So now anytime my boyfriend tries to start a fight with me, I'm like, oh, let me remind you that being your girlfriend now costs me $38 a day. Let me set the thermostat to 72. Off. Let's pick our battles today. When he and I got together, we had that conversation about labels because I felt ready to be called boyfriend and girlfriend, and he goes, you know, being in my 40s, I feel like I'm a little old to be called somebody's boyfriend, but if you call me your man friend, it sounds like I'm not allowed in your playgrounds. I was like, all right, well, what are you gonna call me? And he goes, I'll just be like, this is my lady. And I was like, well, we're not at a Renaissance fair. So no. Also, I can't use the equivalent of that. I can't be like, Mom, Dad, I'd like you to meet my Lord. And he's also a comedian. My ex-husband was actually a comedian too. I can't stop right. No, I didn't tell you. My love life is a Chipotle. Just keep the eating and all under one roof. It's very convenient, very farm to table, you know. They're right there. And I wasn't much of a jealous girlfriend in my 20s, but then some switch flipped in my 30s. And now when I see somebody hit on the person I'm with, I just feel myself anamorph into the cast of Jersey Shore. I am ready to brawl. And he does get hit on. When he walks on stage, women whistle at him. And at comedy clubs, there's usually a security guard in the back to kick people out in case they heckle. So at his shows, I've just started to stand next to the security guard. And if I see a woman laughing too hard at one of his jokes, I just walk up and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. He's my favorite comedian. Well, he's my lord. Scoot, beat it. I feel like most people assume I'm exaggerating during that joke, but if you follow me online, you'll know I posted a video a few months ago of a woman who sat in the front row of one of my shows, and after I told that joke, she goes, your boyfriend is my favorite comedian. We've seen him like 8 times. And I was like, lady, did you not just hear that this is when I go snooky on somebody? What are you doing? And she doubled down. She's like, he's so cute. He's so hot. And he responds to my Instagram comments. And that's when I took out my hoop earrings. All the men in the crowd were looking around like, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. It's like, yeah, time to f*** around and find out, madam. Get up here. I don't actually worry about my boyfriend cheating on me. I feel like men's bodies start to really turn on them in their 40s. He has to wake up every 2 hours in the night to pee. And when I see him in the morning with bags under his eyes, I hug him and I go, babe, I'm sorry you didn't sleep well. And then I think, you're too exhausted to cheat on me. You're not getting enough REM to pull off 2 relationships. I like you slow like this. Can catch you if I need to. Get back here. But now the second I see him start to reach for melatonin, I'm like, the f*** are you resting up for? Huh? You stay sleepy. I don't usually mind our age gap, but there is that new filter on TikTok where couples are posting pictures together, and then a filter goes across the screen, and it shows you what you'll look like together in 50 years. Like it ages you. So I did that with a picture of me and my boyfriend, and when the filter went across the screen, it just made him disappear. Just me holding an urn. I was like, what? No, please. And my boyfriend was like, I want to see the picture. I was like, oh, my phone died. And so did you. What am I gonna do? He does hate that he looks older than me. He's been trying to get me to look older faster. I think he wants to like microwave my face. On my birthday, as a prank, he hid all of my expensive skin creams, and when I opened my bathroom cupboard, there was just a pack of cigarettes. Like a tanning bed coupon. Well, be careful what you wish for. You're gonna wake up next to Mick Jagger. I have been telling my single friends that they should date somebody older than them. It's the best. They got their lives together. They're financially secure. My boyfriend has a lake cabin. You think I give a shit that he has a fake hip? I don't. I'm very happy to be living with Chad. I lived alone for a few years after the divorce. I feel like if you live alone for too long, you start to become feral. Make some noise if you live alone right now. All right, so that's 12 people who showered for the first time tonight. Good for you. I am honored to be the reason you would bathe and leave your home. Because you don't have to do anything when you live alone. There's nobody around to judge you, and you start to act like you were raised by wolves, right? I watched myself do something so unhinged at one point. I don't know if you guys have it in your shower, where if the water's been hitting the shower curtain for a long time, it starts to get kind of discolored at the bottom. I tried cleaning it, it wouldn't come off, and instead of just going and buying a new shower curtain like a normal person, I just sat in my bathtub with scissors and I just cut the bottom. I just went full meth head. I was just like, ay. Arts and crafts. I literally gave my shower bangs. It's not a mentally stable place to be in. And then, of course, it really looked like it. So I went to Target, and they had just released fall candles. And I learned that day that if you smell candles for 30 minutes straight, you will accidentally get a little high. Nothing crazy, but I'm a lightweight, and nobody in the DARE program talked to me about candles. So I was unprepared for what happened to my body. So I was floating around Target. I grabbed the shower curtain I wanted, and when I went home and hung it up, it only stretched like half the length of my shower, and it was so long, 5 extra feet of fabric coming off the bottom of this thing. And my stepsister came over the next day, and she used my bathroom, and she came out and she goes, "Why do you have a window curtain in there?" I was like, "What now?" She goes, "That's a window curtain. You didn't think it was weird that when you hung it up, there was an entire Met Gala ball gown coming off of it?" I was like, "I accidentally got hooked up on pumpkin spice and I blacked out. I don't want to talk about it." But it's fine. I can fix this. And I grabbed my scissors and I just cut the bottom. So something I've learned is that a lot of people don't realize that comedians know how to not be comedians off stage. Like, some people just think we're always set to clown mode or something. Because a few years ago, my mom got sick and she was in the hospital for part of the time. And 3 weeks in, her doctor turns to me and goes, "So I heard you're a comedian." And I was like, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "Oh, just surprises me because I don't really get a funny vibe from you." And I was like, "Well, my mom's still in the hospital after 3 weeks, so I'm not really getting a great doctor vibe." I can be petty off the clock too, bitch. I will do it for free. Also, what does a funny vibe look like to this guy? We're in a hospital. You think I'm gonna walk through the waiting room honking boobs like, hee 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 hee? People are bleeding out. You gotta clock out sometimes. But here's the thing. When my mom was in the hospital, she ended up getting diagnosed with dementia, which has, of course, been the most heartbreaking thing to go through. But she is so smart and so funny that even with dementia, she's still pretty crafty, like still tries to prank people. So she and my brother were talking. He thought it was going well. And then all of a sudden, she just starts shouting, "Nurse! Nurse!" And my brother's like, "Oh my God, Mom, I'm right here. What do you need?" The nurses come running in. They're like, "Kathy, oh my God, what's going on?" And my mom just goes, "Look how handsome my son is." I'm like, "Are you out of your f***ing mind? You cannot be the mom who cried hot son. You're gonna get kicked out of the home." Because now I feel like next time she actually needs help, the nurse is just gonna pop her head around from 50 feet away and be like, oh, let me guess, Kathy, is your daughter funny? Is that what you're screaming at us for? It'd be so great if she was like, she's okay. I don't really get a funny vibe from her. Just want some apple juice. And this is strange, but my entire family and I, including my mom, are actually world champion foosball players. Yeah, thank you. And my mom is in the Foosball Hall of Fame. Yeah. But every time my mom gets a new nurse, the nurse will always ask her about her life. And my mom always goes, well, I'm in the Foosball Hall of Fame. And every nurse goes, sure you are. Mm-hmm. And I'm always standing there like, oh, yeah, no, I know that sounds made up, but I swear it's real. And the nurse is like, hey, you don't have to. And I'm like, lady, I swear to God, I can show you her trophies, I can show you a video of her playing. And that's when the nurse starts to look at the other nurses like, oh, does the daughter have dementia too? It's like a T-Mobile family plan of dementia. It's like too weird to believe. And my mom growing up was also somebody you did not want to cross. My parents got divorced in the 90s, back when there were home phone answering machines. And before the divorce, our answering machine message was my dad saying, you've reached the Cooks, please leave us a message. And then after the divorce, my mom had changed it to her just blasting Alanis Morissette's You Oughta Know. So every time my dad would call, my mom would let it go to the machine so that if he wanted to leave a message for her, every time, he first had to sit through the lyrics, and I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. I mean, that's a bad move right there. That takes balls. Because it's not like that was just the message for when my dad called. That was the message for literally anybody who called our house. So after a while, we started to get messages from people like, hey, this is Dave from Blockbuster. And, I'm here to remind you. Your Space Jam VHS is overdue. Really sorry about whatever you're going through. And long before my mom had dementia, she had retired from teaching, and she had taken on some interesting retirement hobbies. She had started to screenshot the selfies I would post on Instagram, and then she would print them out and go to Kohl's and buy those 30 photo collage frames and frame my selfies. But I didn't know she was doing this until I visited home one day and I just walked into a museum. Of my narcissism. And my mom crept up behind me. She was like, do you love it? What is this, a haunted house? This is horrifying. I'll never take a selfie again. This is like an intervention. But here's the thing. Nobody had taught my mom how to crop a screenshot. So all of these printed, framed photos show her phone battery percentage. if somebody texted her as she took the screenshot, it's up there. There's a framed photo somewhere of my face with a text from my ex to my mom like, "Your daughter just shit in a box." Please advise.
Okay, let me tell y'all that my middle child is 23 now, and she's the only one that checks on me. She called me a few minutes ago and said, "Did you get to Naples all right?" And I said, "Yeah, baby. Thank you for asking. Tell your daddy." She is a beauty, and she is smart and hateful. And we've been scared to death of her all of her life. And it really got bad when she was about 16 or 17. Have any of y'all been through that? We walked on eggshells around her. She'd come down the steps in the morning, we'd be like, "Who is it?" "I don't know." And it happened when she was about 16 or 17. She turned on me on a dime. And I truly believe that God allows this because he knows that you're grieving because they're going to go to college or whatever they're going to do. And he makes them just as mean as he can so that you can let them go. The very breath that I breathed out of my nostrils made her so angry. We were not allowed to eat cereal in our own home because she couldn't stand to hear us chew it. And I don't mean to talk about her because she had a lot on her. She had to empty the dishwasher. That was a lot. She's always had a bunch of boys after because she's a doll, and they always wanted to date her and always came around our house. And there was one, and he was a player. He was a schmoozer. And he would say stuff to me. He'd go, "Miss Morgan, you look beautiful today." And I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, can I make you a casserole?" And thank goodness they broke up because I was exhausted. I was mopping the floor, blowing my hair out every day. And I thought, why did that affect me that way? Why did I? And I thought, oh, I know. It's because my love language is words of affirmation. And I don't get them. So I got hoodooed by this boy. My husband and I read that book and went to a Sunday school retreat years ago. And it was the 5 love languages. Have y'all read that? I know. It's good. And it works. It really does. But you read the book and you take the test, and you and your husband will take the test. And it'll tell you, there's 5 prominent love languages. It'll tell you what your husband's prominent love language is. He'll find out what yours is. So at night, y'all can sit on the couch and feed each other y'all's love language. And then your love tank feels full. If you don't, your husband's liable to go to work and is standing by the water fountain, and some whore comes in and feeds him his love language, and then he feels a tingle, and then Satan swoops in. I know. Terrible. So here's the 5 love languages, if y'all don't know. There's quality time. So there's people that just want you to sit with them and watch a television show or something like that. Then there's gifts. That's my sister's. It does not have to be something that's expensive. If you give her a rose and a card, she'll bawl her eyes out because her love tank feels full. I know. And her husband doesn't do it. Okay. All right, and then there's physical touch. And so many women, when I say that, they'll go, "Oh, yeah, that's my husband's. He's on me like a duck on a June bug." But we're not talking about the nasty kind. We're talking about, people that just want to squeeze and hug and hold on to you. That's their love language, is physical touch. And then there's words of affirmation, so that's mine. So all my husband has to say is, Leanne, you look pretty today. Or, Leanne, that Trisha Yearwood's chicken piccata is to die for. And then my love tank feels full. And then I'm willing to do something vulgar with him. And then he gives me money to get my hair highlighted. Oh, that's how it works. That's biblical. Okay, y'all. My baby, my middle one, the whole time she was in high school, so ashamed of me and so embarrassed by me, but loves me more than anybody. Now we're best friends, but I'm telling y'all, everything I did made her so mad. And I remember showing up at middle school in a pair of yoga pants, and she goes, "What are you doing here?" I thought I looked so cute. But anyway, she had a bunch of little girls always spending the night, and she had this little girl spend the night, and the little girl stayed a couple of nights, so I did her laundry, and all I said, this little girl was, "Katie, you're so tiny. Your little underwear looks like a slingshot." And that little girl thought it was funny. And my baby looked at me and went. So I got out of there, and when that little girl left, I came back in. I said, "What's wrong with me saying that her little panties look like a slingshot? I wish somebody'd say my panties look like a slingshot." Nick, my panties look like a catapult. Did you ever watch Braveheart and Mel Gibson? You know, boys, y'all ever watch that? You know, when they pull that big thing back, put a ball in it, and fling it, and kill a bunch of people with it? That's what my panties look like. I buy Soma now. Soma, big old panties, honey. The bigger the better. I used to wear Victoria's Secret when I still had hope. And then I found out, y'all know who owns Victoria's Secret? Satan. And, no, he doesn't. I had to stop wearing them because they were cutting me in two. But, Lord, they're probably about to go out of business. But anyway, everybody is. But I love a big panty. Okay. My baby child is 22 now. She lives in New York. And goes to school up there. And we miss her. And she's been a doll baby. And her daddy and I, we begged her to go to Phoenix Online. And she was like, "Get out of my butthole." So y'all just stare at me. And she smells good. But anyway, my husband is 6'4", 230 pounds, 250 if he's eating white flour and sugar. He plays a lot of tennis. And it got on my nerves so bad because I had no estrogen, no progesterone, no testosterone. And I was crazy. Okay, his testosterone dipped a little. Praise God. And then it went back up when he started playing tennis again. And that makes it naturally go up. It made me so mad. Anyway, my husband's athletic and played football and basketball. I played basketball. I know y'all thinking, "You sissy thing, you did not." But I did. It was the early 80s. I had really big hair. I'm from a town of 500 people in Middle Tennessee, and we grow dark-fired tobacco. And we didn't know what waterproof mascara was. So by the end of the games, I looked like, say, if Tammy Wynette and Alice Cooper had a child together. I played forward. Sometimes I had to play center if Mary Rowland had to take her baby to the health department. But anyway, so we wanted these children to be in sports, you know, keep them off of dope. And my baby child, all my children are tall kids because I'm 5'8", and I think I'm getting bigger by the day. I think my feet are spreading. I think my hands are big. I see my hands in a video. I take pictures, and all these little women come up to here on me. I look like, Okay. Well, my baby child grew really quick, really fast, and was 5'6" in elementary school. And I think it was my fault. I think it was all that chicken. I think if anybody's in here my age, we didn't know about hormone-free back then. No, everybody, I know. All that milk, it had stuff in it. Lord, I've raised her on a bunch of chicken and milk. Anyway, I would not do that to a grandbaby now. Okay, so she was very tall, very self-conscious, and she was taller than all the teachers, the principal, all the little children. Good news is very athletic and very strong. So all these teams around East Tennessee would call me and they'd say, can she play goalkeeper for our team? We'll get her an iPhone. Can she play basketball for us? She never played basketball. And y'all, it tickled me. And I felt like LeBron James's mama. And I made her do it. And she came to me one day and she goes, I'm sick of all this. I'm not going to play all this for y'all. She goes, I want to cheer. I said, well, baby, we're big people. And we don't tumble. Let me see what I can find out. There's a thing in the United States called competition cheer. And I bet it's big in Florida. Yeah. If you don't know what it is, it's kind of like Honey Boo Boo meets stripping meets the Olympics. Because they're gymnasts, is what they are. They're very talented gymnasts. So there's one in Knoxville called Premier Sharks. And I dropped her off to audition or try out, whatever you want to call it. We didn't know anything about it. And this little woman, they ended up putting her on a bad Mamma Jamma squad because all the little children her age came up to hear on her. And somebody's got to throw them up in the air. So they were thrilled to have her. She's strong as a mule. So they said it's $150 a month for her to come in and take 2 nights a week to learn a 2.5-minute routine. I was like, okay. And they said there's a uniform that we're going to order for her. And it sequins up the sleeve, comes to right here, exposes her little tummy. She's going to have on a tiny little skirt with a slit in it with a glitter panty underneath it. And I said, that's a whore outfit. And it came with its own bag of whore makeup. And the woman said, y'all are going to travel to faraway lands and compete against other little whore children. Places like Atlanta and Cincinnati. So we get in the car and drive all night, get a hotel room, and then the next morning go to a coliseum with tens of thousands of little whore children walking around. And they said it's $150 to enter your baby in this competition. It's $30 for you and your husband to wear a band to get in and watch her in this competition. Somebody was selling corn dogs for $15. Anyway, they start out with the babies, and the babies are yummy, and they're 5. And you could eat their lips off. And they got on a skirt about this big. And their little mamas are probably in their late 20s, early 30s, and they're not bitter yet. And so the little girls come out to Beyonce's All Single Ladies. And their little mamas are in the front doing every move, trying to keep them on track because they're babies. And they need to be at home breastfeeding. So they go up in age throughout the day, and they call my baby's group, and they go, Reef Sharks. For 2.5 minutes, my baby throws little children up in the air, working like a Trojan, broken out in a sweat. And the whole time she's throwing these little children up, and they're called flyers. And they are freakish, tiny little children. And their mamas are freaky, tiny little women. And I think, how do they even have these little babies? I'm from farming people. I've got thick ankles. I can work in the fields. I don't know who these people are. Anyway, these little flyers, She's throwing them up in the air, and the whole time during this 2.5 minutes, they're going. And nobody knows why. And that goes on, and then it's the finale. And 25, 30 little girls put their forehead on the ground and hunker down. And the finale is my baby. My baby hops up and has got a little girl's foot in her hand. Are y'all listening to me over there? When's the last time y'all put somebody's... The gay boys went nuts. It was a big deal, okay? So then they were like, oh, she's got to do it again. We got to have her next, because she didn't drop anybody and give anybody concussion. Those mamas had me on speed dial. They loved her. But she was like, you know what? I've got spirit. I know I do. But she said, I'm tired of this. I got it out of my system. She said, I'm not going to do it anymore, but I'm keeping that whore outfit.
Been touring for 15 years, and my favorite thing to do on tour is eat good food. It's my favorite thing to do. Like, everywhere we go, we try to find the best food. And we want to find that local, family-owned, you can only get this right here type of place. You know what I'm talking about? So everywhere we go, we get the best food. Except when we went to Birmingham, Alabama. I'll tell you what happened. We get to Birmingham, and I'm doing my thing where I'm just talking to people, asking people where we should go eat. Like, hey, where's the hot spot? Where do you go? I want to know. Let's go. This girl recommends a Mexican restaurant. I was like, aww. No, thank you. Because we're in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't want Mexican food here. Like, we're in the South. Take me where I could get some Southern food, like biscuits and gravy, shrimp and grits, butter on butter. But she said a Mexican restaurant. I was like, ooh, hard pass, thanks though. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Hold on. Let me not judge, okay? Because people know their city. They know what's up where they live. They know where to eat. They know the hot spots. So I was like, you know what? Let me not judge. Also, let me not limit my people, because maybe one of my people done immigrated over here. And maybe when he got here, he was like, keep going. Don't look back. By the time he looked up, he's in Birmingham, Alabama. Is this California? Nah, you went the wrong way. Highway. But maybe he decided to stay. And maybe he started by making tacos on a little taco cart right outside of the nightclub. Everybody starts hearing about Jaime's Tacos. Hey, have you ever had one of Jaime's Tacos? Those are the best tacos I've ever had in my life. Jaime's Tacos, Jaime's Tacos. Maybe he is so popular, he opens up a taco truck. Hey, have you ever been to Jaime's Taco Truck? Those are the best tacos I've ever had in my life. Jaime's Tacos, Jaime's Tacos. Maybe he gets so popular, he opens up his very first restaurant in Birmingham, Alabama, Jamie's. Maybe that's what happened. So I was like, you know what? Let me not judge. Let me go ahead and check out this Mexican restaurant in Birmingham, Alabama. So we get there. As soon as I walk in, I notice that it's all white people, not one Mexican. Strike one. Listen, this is not about white people. This is about the rules of restaurants. Whatever restaurant you go to, whatever culture that restaurant is, if you do not see the people of that culture in that restaurant, leave. Because if they won't even co-sign on this, it's not legit. If you go to a Chinese restaurant and you don't see no Chinese people, girl, bye. Even if you see one Chinese guy, listen real close, he might be adopted, don't fall for it. You need 2 cosigns in that situation. I walk into this Mexican restaurant, I didn't have no cosigns. I became the cosign. I was like, oh man, we already drove all the way out here. Let's just give it a shot. We sit down. They charged me for chips and salsa. Strike 2. Everybody knows that chips and salsa are free. It is our gift to humanity. Oh, but not in Birmingham, Alabama. Chips and salsa, that'll be $2.75. Excuse me, please? I'm sorry, is Jaime here? If that wasn't bad enough, this next moment is where my life changed. I'm reading the menu, and it says they have guacamole and seasonal guacamole. I said, seasonal guacamole? What's that? Are there any Mexican people here tonight? Okay, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of seasonal guacamole? Me either. I never heard of it in my whole Mexican life. I didn't know what it was. I had to ask my waiter. I said, excuse me, sir? Yeah, Chad. Let me ask you a question. What comes in the seasonal guacamole? And he says, walnuts and candied apples. Y'all, I was personally offended. I could not believe they were doing this to my people. I knew I needed to say something. I needed to speak up. This was my si se puede moment. But we were in the South, so the only words that would come out of my mouth were, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You take that guacamole back to the pit where it came from. I do not receive that. Get under my feet, devil.
I've been working out this material in my local comedy clubs, and people say, Jen, aren't you worried about hecklers? I say, is that where I'm trying to speak and someone interrupts me with a bunch of sassy backtalk? Oh, I think I know how to deal with hecklers. I tell these guys at these clubs, at these dive bars, I walk in there and I say, we're gonna make that right there the naughty corner. Yeah. Anyone heckles me, you got 5 minutes and time out, and you don't get out till you say you're sorry. I have 6 kids. People ask me if I'm going to have another, and on the one hand, a 7th baby would be a lot of work, but on the other hand, my punch card at the hospital is full, and I get my 7th one free. People bring up the fact that I have so many kids at the weirdest times. I was working out at the gym with a personal trainer, and she leans down and says, Jen, you have given birth 6 times. I want you to bring that strength and that courage that you brought to childbirth to this workout. You can do it. And I said, I get epidurals. I don't know what she was imagining my childbirth experiences are like. When my last kid was born, I was scrolling Instagram. I found out the baby arrived because the doctor sent me a DM. It's crazy having so many kids. You get asked all these questions. Like, people always ask me, Jen, don't you want to try natural childbirth? They never ask you that for any other medical procedure. Like if someone's going like, I've got an impacted tooth and they have to extract it, nobody's like, are you doing it naturally? Imagine if people use this as a way to brag, like, I'm having my appendix out this weekend, but no drugs for me. I want to breathe through it. I want to be awake when it comes out. We had 6 babies in 8 years, no twins. I'll take that. I earned that. Thank you also for the people who just gasped silently. But when we would tell people about baby showers, they'd be like, this is not supposed to be an annual tradition. We ran out of stuff for baby registries. For my 5th kid, I registered at Sephora. My 6th was at the liquor store. When you have your 6th baby, you don't need another baby walker. You need Johnny Walker. One of the things you have to get used to when you have a baby is the way other women will talk to it. So your sister-in-law will lean over to your baby and say, oh, you don't have a hat, do you? You're cold, aren't you? Your mommy forgot your hat because she spends too much time on that phone, doesn't she? So the way you handle that is you turn right back to that baby and you say, we're not gonna listen to Auntie Meg, are we? Why not? Because all her children smoke weed, don't they? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Parenting is so hard. I have had to Google things like how to handle classroom bullying, what to do if your kid's teacher has an anger management issue. Oh. Other than that, homeschooling is going pretty well. I know it's a strange choice. I know homeschooling is a different choice, but look, it's simply important to me that my children receive an education that starts after 10 a.m. People are like, Jen, you're a homeschooler? My cousin is also a doomsday prepper. I try to tell them this is a very modern system of education. It's very sophisticated. They won't listen to me. They're like, no, I know all about homeschooling. I read the book about it, the Flowers in the Attic. The nice thing about homeschooling, though, is your class reunion is also your family reunion. You can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. Now, my oldest child has actually begun going to Catholic school. The only thing is, it starts really early. And there's no bus service. So that is an early Uber for him. I have a theory. that there are 2 kinds of babies and toddlers. The first kind are climbers. These, you have a climber if you've ever thought, I didn't think I would have to install child-proof locks on the cabinet above the fridge. I didn't have that problem because my kids were the other type. They were screamers. Oh, these kids, they would scream about anything. They would scream about anything at all. Like, I would just try to enforce some simple rules. Like, for example, screen time limits are very important to me. I will not allow my children to watch more than 15 hours of screens a day. Try to set these limits. And they would just scream and scream and scream. And they would scream about crazy stuff. Like, I would run into the room. Someone is screaming so loudly, I'd be like, what? Who needs a tourniquet? And it would turn out somebody looked at her cracker. When the UPS guy would come to our door, I am positive that on more than one occasion, he walked up to our door, heard all this chaos inside, and was like, "Is this a portal to hell?" I would call my husband at work during these moments when all 6 of my children were screaming their heads off. They got silent, dead silent. 5 minutes before, it sounded like I was standing on the set of the movie Saw. My husband answers the phone, and it sounds like I am telephoning him from atop a peaceful hilltop monastery. And he'd say, "Well, that's great. We can chat now." I didn't call you to chat. I called you so you will understand how bad my life is. And then I'd get off the phone and keep calling him until I got him on the phone when every single one of those children were screaming. And he'd be like, "That is awful." And I'd be like, "Yes, thank you," and hang up. I am an introvert, in case you can't tell. If you would like to know what level of introvert I am, my children thought it was normal that when someone knocks at the door, you hide. It would be like, "Go, go, go, get away from the window, away from the window. It might be a friend." And then they'd go over to their friends' houses, and when the doorbell would ring, they'd be like, "Should we hide behind the couch or the table?" Well, there's this misconception. Being an introvert doesn't mean that I don't like being around people. I love being around people the way an astronaut likes going to the moon. It is a wonderful, beautiful, joyful experience that makes life worth living. It just has to be planned with careful precision timing so that I don't die in a burst of flames. You know, I'd love to know, is there anyone here in the house tonight, and make some noise if this is you, who happens to be Catholic? I was a lifelong atheist before I became Catholic. And when people hear that I chose to join the Roman Catholic Church, they're like, "Ugh, why?" And that's just the Catholics. I used to have all of these stereotypes that Catholics curse and they drink and they're irresponsible with family planning. And now I am those stereotypes. And so are you guys, evidently. You know, the culture around us sometimes doesn't like Catholicism. You know when they realize they need us? When their houses are haunted. Try to imagine an Exorcist movie without the Catholic Church. They're like, "We've been hearing evil voices from the basement. It's a demon. Somebody call a non-denominational worship leader." Only a Unitarian can save us now. But I love all the great dialogue we have now between Protestants and evangelicals and Catholics. Like, a lot of my Protestant friends are getting in on historical Catholic traditions, and I like to help them. I like to share my experiences. You know, like, a lot of my Protestant friends are now celebrating Lent. So I tell them, for example, about the time that I gave up cursing for Lent. And I say, the thing with this tradition of giving things up for Lent is that you bring it back in a big way on Easter morning. And I love it. I love it that so many of my Protestant friends are getting in on these wonderful, rich liturgical traditions. I think it's so great. There is an area of Catholicism that you might want to leave to us Catholics. For example, relics. You guys familiar with this? So a relic is where we as Catholics like to take a piece of clothing or even a piece of a body of a holy man or woman who lived and just keep it around so that we can feel close to them. There is even a church, this is true, there's a church in Italy, this beautiful historic church, and inside it is a very delicate, beautiful glass box, and there is a saint's head in it. And when you see it in context, it's actually a beautiful thing. The saint lived hundreds of years ago. The church is like 1,000 years old. And when you see it in the grand scheme of this ornate cathedral, you realize that it's a beautiful thing. But Protestant friends, leave this one to us. Because it's going to be a little weird if you walk into your local mega church called Celebration Station. And there's a glass box with a guy's head in it. That's Pastor Cody. He was great. I am here from Texas. Thank you. It's a great nation. The only thing about Texas, I love Texas, but the only thing about it is that the natural environment that surrounds us is constantly trying to kill us. Like my house is full of scorpions. Now, they're not that big, and when you get stung, it's not really that much worse than a wasp sting. And sometimes when people hear that, they're like, well, doesn't sound that bad, and we have roaches. And it's times like this that I turn to the Bible. Particularly Luke chapter 10, where Jesus gives his followers the power to tread upon scorpions. So I'm like, I think what is in my house is worse because Jesus hates them. I did not know when we first moved into this house that it was full of scorpions. And we had an exterminator come out as just part of a cursory visit, just spray some chemicals. And I followed this guy around like, is that organic? No, don't spray right there. The children play there, don't spray too much. And then, one night when I was just about to turn out my bedside lamp, I saw a scorpion crawling right toward my bed. The exterminator was back at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day, and he said, ma'am, would you like to upgrade to our platinum package? I said, I want your Chernobyl package. These scorpions will show up in the craziest places. One time I sent a kid to the naughty corner, and she got stung there. It's not funny, but... I'm just saying, I didn't have to discipline that kid for like 6 weeks. We also have rattlesnakes in our yard. And a friend of mine was like, Jen, if you see a rattlesnake, don't kill it, rehome it. I was like, that is a great idea. I will rehome it into a belt. I sometimes fantasize about moving somewhere else, maybe Chicago. The thing is, I try to imagine how a realtor would dress up that listing. Like beautiful family home, fully furnished, rustic charm, great for entomologists. In general, I like living in the suburbs, though. It's nice. I like to drive around in my minivan, and when I do, I listen to hip hop. I love hip hop music. And sometimes people hear that and they say, Jen, have you listened to those lyrics talking about fighting with people, getting vengeance on people, using drugs to cope? And I'm like, you ever met suburban moms? I hear Lil Wayne saying things like, you front on me, I step to you. You play this game, it's over for you. And I'm like, was he at Michelle's bunco group?